welcome to my Flosstube. My name is Hannah. This is a channel about cross stitch. Today is the 30th of December 2020. We are almost in 2021. We're getting there. So today is probably going to be a little bit of a longer video. I'm filming this in the middle of the day, like I'm taking my lunch break now, and I'm doing this during my lunch break. Because we have guests coming over tonight, and so it's just like, look, it's just gonna be easier. We're all staying safe, don't worry. I know when people say, oh, we're having guests over, I'm just like, ah! But, you know, as long as you do it cautiously, and we're allowed to have up to 10 people in an area at one time, in gatherings, I guess, and we don't have that many people coming over, so it's just my husband's father and his girlfriend, and then his brother and his girlfriend. Anyway, all that to be said. So I have a couple things to talk about today, and I want to do my WIP list. My WIP parade. I was like, what's the word? My WIP parade, and it's going to be pretty much the same as my first video, because I don't have anything that's different, but I wanted to do that so that in 2022, like at the end of 2021, I can go and look and see, oh, this is how much I got done. I also redid my WIP Go board, because I have gotten to some of the goals that I had set on my original WIP Go board, and I didn't want to use that because I have already completed those goals, so I changed it and set some new goals for ones that I've already completed. So all that to be said, my new goal for next year is to get 220,000 stitches done in the year. I don't know if that's gonna happen. We'll see. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about, I guess this is like I don't know, it's not a PSA, but this is concerning some of the things that have been going on Facebook, and I wanted to come on here because I'm appalled and I am so disgusted with how people are, how there are two people, one in particular, that is handling the situation in such a bad way. And this is, if you don't know, and if you haven't been on Facebook, and if you aren't in the groups that this has been in, there was a post recently, I think it was in Cross Stitch Unlimited, and someone had mentioned, and someone had screenshots of the comment that was made, and it has been found that a charting designer who has been around for years has been stealing art. Yes, people do this on Etsy, and I know this happens, and I've talked about this before, where if it is smaller artists, like Disney is a little bit harder for me because Disney is painful, I know, I've heard, to try to get any kind of licensing deal with, and there are so many fan art pieces out there, so it's that's kind of a little bit of like weird territory. But this designer has been stealing art from, you know, smaller artists, not Disney, but smaller artists who have not given her permission. And this chart designer is the owner of the Brash and Sassy Studio, which I believe her blog / where she sold her work has been taken down. She has claimed that it is because she has been hacked, but we have found out otherwise. It is taken down because she's been stealing art. And there are lots of receipts and things that have been found that she is essentially lying. And the owner of this studio her name is Brenda Martin, and she admins a couple of groups actually, and I was previously in one of these groups. I think she's an admin for 3 different groups, and her friend admin for these groups, and just yesterday her friend, she went on and blatantly lied about that I saw three different designers. One was Missy from Cross Stitch for Everyone on Etsy. It was Nicky from Charting Creation, and Betsy from a Cross Stitch Studio. Or the Cross Stitch Studio. Sorry, Betsy. But she went on and she said that they have been doing this as well, stealing art. And this is a false claim. They have not been stealing art. They have all of the receipts. I mean, Betsy even put on her, both Nicky and Betsy put out statements about this, where Brenda has not yet put out a statement, so it's hard for anyone to believe that Brenda is not stealing her art because she has not said anything, and all she's doing is deleting people's comments about this situation. And so when her friend, who I won't name purely because she is not a designer, I just don't feel comfortable naming her, but Brenda I do feel comfortable naming because I would like for people to not buy her art, her charts. I would rather them buy the artwork of the artist that she is stealing from. But her friend went and wrote a whole post about how Nicky and Betsy and Missy also steal their art, and this is a lie. They have receipts, and they have Betsy put the phone number for her licensing agencies that she works with up on her Facebook, so you can call them and talk to them. And this just shows to me that, you know, those allegations were false. And I have had a conversation, small conversation with someone who is, you know, in the depths of this, and from Betsy, I would like to read just a small, you know, thing that Betsy has asked for me to say here. She has asked that I say they have signed contracts in place with both of the agencies that were that they were accused of stealing artwork. They have proof of payment for the artwork, and that because this person chose to slander all three of these designers, their agencies, in this accusation, they're going forward with a libel lawsuit. So there will be a lawsuit going. I think it went this morning. But I just wanted to put this out here because I just find this appalling that somebody would, in a fit of probably anger and trying to stick up for her friend, would put something out accusing small businesses that could really hurt them, even with these false claims. Just putting any false claim out there could hurt them because people might see this and not realize that this is false. So, you know, just if you see anything about this, know that Missy, Nicky, and Betsy, and anybody else who I've heard they might have done, the person might have put more in other groups. If you see anything, please find the facts. Don't just rely on what anybody puts on Facebook or on any social media. I put it on my Instagram, and I'm glad I did because it is the truth. And again, just do your research, find out the truth. Don't take everything people say on Facebook or any social media for the truth. Take it with a grain of salt because sometimes it can be a lie. And if you're interested in more information, you know, I am in conversations with a bunch of people. So if you need more information about the situation, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, or any of them. I mean, Nicky and Betsy, and I'm sure Missy, I haven't had any conversations with Missy. It's mainly been someone else that's in the midst of all this. But if you have any questions, I'm sure you can reach out to them too, and they'd be willing to have a conversation with you. So again, do your research, take everything with a pinch of salt, a grain of salt. It's not always true. And that's all I'm going to say on the situation that's going on right now. Make sure that you're always trying to decide if it's, charted copyright. It's not copyright infringed. I know I have pieces that I was sure were copyright infringed, and one I'm pretty sure is. I got it on Etsy, and it's really hard to tell on Etsy, but when somebody creates a website and then promotes all over Facebook and says, this is mine, that to me is so hard to believe in that person anymore. So again, Charting Creations, the Cross Stitch Studio, and Cross Stitch for Everyone, they do pay their artists. And if it's a stock photo, this is a whole nother thing that's been brought up. If it's a stock photo, I know I said I was going to be done like a minute ago, but if it's a stock photo, the artists have to sell their piece and put it onto the stock website. Like, what is that one? I don't remember what it's called, but if it's a stock photo, it's then pretty much fair use. You buy the claims to the art, so that's a little bit weird, and I know it's happened. Like, I think Charting Creations has a couple of, Shutterstock, that's the website, have a couple of images that you can find on Shutterstock, and so it's still legal. Anyway, so that's everything. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below or reach out to me. I will put all of my social medias in the description box. I know I keep on using my hands. So that's that. I'm done with that. Now let's get into WIPs. So I'm going to start with I don't have any finishes this time, because now we're getting into, like, I don't have anything small anymore. So I'm going to start with the pieces that I've worked on since the last time. Sorry, I'm just pulling up my list because I write down what I've worked on since my last video. Okay, so I gotta find these in here. Okay, so the first piece that I pulled out of my pile, because these are not in any kind of order. What is in order? I don't know what I worked on first. I'm pretty sure that this was the most recent, because I think this was what I was working on during my last video. I wasn't working on it in my last video, but in my last video I had only put in like 150 stitches or something, and I put in a few more since that video, so I'm going to show you where I got to since that last video. So I'm going to include a picture of what it will look like and where it was last time. And here is where it is now. So you can't tell, but this is Goofy's ear right here. So that I think for the most part I got another finished, maybe even got a whole row in, I don't remember. But one thing I'm going to do after I actually show these, I'm going to include a before and after, like, side by side, because in all of my recent videos I've noticed that when I do like the picture before and then I show you this, I can't really tell, like, even me, I can't really tell how much I've gotten done. So I'm going to include like a side by side comparison right after I show you this, and all of my, not all of them, but the ones I've recently worked on. So anyway, just so that you guys can see, and so maybe I can even see like how much I actually got done, because it's hard to tell. So for this one, at the end of this year, I am at 8,762 stitches, which is 1.22% of this piece done. My goal for 2021 is to get to 10%, I think. So I've got quite a bit. I've got quite a bit to do to try to get to. Oh no. My goal is to get to 5%. 5%, yeah, 5%. So even still, it's quite a bit because this is only, I mean, if you think about it, 8,000 stitches is only a little over 1%. So anyway, that's where I am, and I'm going to show my side-by-side here. Okay, and then the next thing I think I worked on, I don't know actually, but the next thing that I'm pulling out, because it's the next top of my pile, is my, World of Disney is on 25 count, 1/1, full cross, and it's a chart I bought on Etsy. I'll put all of the store names and things down in the description box. I might even put what the fabric count and stuff is, because sometimes I forget to say that. So anyway, so the next thing I'm pulling out is my Castles in the Air by Long Dog Samplers. This one, I got a lot done. So here's what it's going to look like and where it was last time. And here is where it is now. Look how much I got done. So I actually finished the first page. The first page is completely done. I know I said I wasn't going to work on it until 2021. That didn't happen. I'm having so much fun with this piece. So yeah, the first page is completely done. I finished all of the back stitch and everything. And since Pattern Keeper doesn't tell you the back stitch count, I am not counting the back stitch. So when I give you numbers for this one, it's always just the cross stitch part. So for this one, I am at 4,227 stitches, and the goal for 2021 is to get to 30%. Oh, and that is what is done now is 17.71%. So I would like to get to 30% by the end of the year, which is totally doable because I'm having too much fun with this. So I'm so excited. The fabric is Fabrics by Stephanie. It's in the colorway Autumn Splendor. It's pretty accurate. The picture, you'll see the side-by-side that I took, the lighting, the first, the previous picture, which you would have already seen the previous picture, but the lighting is just so bad. But yeah, so this is Autumn Splendor, 32 count linen, Fabrics by Stephanie. So I've hit, I think just around here is halfway, somewhere right here. I think right where the fold is about halfway. And then I still have 3 pages underneath. So there's still quite a bit to go, but yeah, whatever. Okay, so here's the side-by-side. Okay, so the next one, oh, and that's one, the threads for that are Silks for You in some off-white colorway. And I'm doing it 1/2 full cross. And then the back stitch is one thread as well. Next, I'm going to pull out my A Stitch in Time, and this is artwork by Aimee Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this is the max color version. So here's what it will look like when it's finished and where it was last time. And here is where it is now. So I didn't get a whole lot more done. And that's because I ran out of one of the colors. So I had to stop when I got to the place where I didn't have that color, because if you have watched my one stitch with me that I've done, I know I have to do more, but it's painful. I'm not sure I really like doing stitch with me's, but I'll maybe do them once a month, maybe. If you watched my stitch with me, you know that I go stitch by stitch, and so I don't like leaving holes. So if I get to a place where I don't have that color, I can't continue. But it's fine because I have plenty of other pieces that don't have that color in it. So, and I always have my long dog, which obviously I can always do. So I didn't get very much done since the last time, but I can tell you that I am at 23,945 stitches, which is 6.38%, and the goal for this one is to get to 15% next year. So this is the top page for this one. So then I'm going to start the next, when I finally eventually get the colors. I ordered the one color, so hopefully it'll be on its way soon. It's one that I can't find anywhere. I've been to Michael's, I've been to Joann's. I mean, it's literally gone. It's out of stock on DMC's website, but 123 Stitch had it, so I got like 5 skeins because I'm scared it's never going to come back, but it will. But the next page I'm going to do is down here, but you know. So I didn't get too much done on this, but that's because I ran out. So this is 25 count 1/1 full cross. Pretty much everything I'm working on is that. There are a couple that aren't, but okay. And then the last one that I worked on is my crazy piece. I call it my crazy piece because it's absolutely insane. So the next one I worked on, and this is World Wonders map, charted by Gecko Rouge. I think the artist is Maria Rabinski or something like that. Could be wrong. Watch, I'm probably wrong. Anyway, it's a Gecko Rouge chart. There are a lot of Gecko Rouges that you have to buy the kit. There are a couple that you can buy the PDF, so I bought the PDF for this one, and this is World Wonders map. Here is what it will look like when it's done and where it was last time. And, oh, I forgot to say about the side-by-side. I probably put it in here somewhere, but there's the side-by-side. And here is where World Wonders map is now. So I call this my crazy piece because it's literally like the size of a queen bed. I mean, not a queen, like a twin, maybe even yeah, probably like a twin bed. It's almost 2.5 million stitches when it's completed, which is not, I'm never finishing it. I'm just not. And I already know that, and it's okay. But this is where I am. I haven't gotten that much done since the last time because I think I've put in like 700 stitches, so not crazy number. But on this piece, I am at 7,906 stitches, and that is 0.32%. So for next year, my goal is to get to 1% on this, which is like 24,000 stitches. I mean, if you think about that, like 24,000 stitches is just 1%. That's crazy. So yeah, my crazy piece. This is done on 28 count, 1/1 full cross. I love 28 count. So from now on, everything that I start every new thing that I start, for the most part, is probably going to be, like, full coverage wise, is probably going to be on 28 count. I think this is a Lugana. So, yeah. Here's the side-by-side. And that's everything I've worked on this week. Now I'm going to go into all of the other things that I have, and just show you where I am at the end of this year and tell you the stitch count and what my goal is for the end of next year. So we won't be getting any before or afters for this because I haven't worked on them. So the last time you saw them, it's going to be the exact same as it is now. So I'm just going to show you, and there'll be nothing, other than maybe what it will look like. So I'll include the what it will look like picture, but that's about it. So for my next piece, is the next one in the pile, is my wedding piece, and this is a piece that I charted myself. It is a picture of my husband and I on our wedding day, so it's legal because it's my picture. So I used Pixel Stitch to chart this, and here is what it's going to look like when it's done. And maybe here is, you've seen it before, but here's where it is. So yeah, so this is 39,423 stitches, which is 10.86%, and my goal is to get to 20% next year. This is my focus piece for magical stitches next year, so I'm hoping to get some good stitching done on this. They just put out what the focus piece is for, so you have to do 7,000 stitches on your focus to get something for your, like, clan, team, whatever. So that's that one. The next one I'm going to show you is so funny to me. The next one is my dogs. Oh, did I say that that was the wedding piece? Is 1/1 full cross on 28 count. The next one is Dogs by Mystic Stitch. I have no idea who the artist is. It's on their website. I just can't remember. I didn't do my research before this video, obviously. I did my research on a few things, but obviously not everything. So this is from Mystic Stitch. It is a restart. The first time you saw it, in my first video, it was a lot. There was a lot more, but I was doing that half cross 2/1 on 28 count. Didn't like it. Got to like over 20,000 stitches and needed to scrap it. So I restarted. Here is what it will look like when it's done. And here's where it is now. Here's where it is now. So there's 220 stitches in this bad boy. I started in a new spot. I think I've told you this in the last video it was in, but I started in a new spot, so I'm not going to be doing the same exact thing as I did the last time I worked on this, but I needed to redo it on something I could actually deal with. I think the 28 count, I love 28 count, obviously, but I just don't like tent stitch. So the only piece I had fabric-wise laying around that would fit is a piece of 25 count. So I'm doing this 1/1 full cross on 25 count. Again, that's my measly little, it's enough for a new start. No new starts though. So like I said, this is 220 stitches, which is 0.13%, and the goal is to get to 10%, I think, next year. So it's not 10% isn't impossible. It's just, it looks so small in comparison to all of my others because I had to restart, so yeah. Okay, next I'm going to pull out my Baker Street. This is a design from Etsy, from the shop called MandarinksDesign, and it is done. I'm doing, well, here's what it will look like when it's done. I'm doing this on some linen that I found in my stash, so I'm not sure what it is. I think it's 32 count. I don't actually know, but I'm doing this one 2/2, full cross, except for when it's charted to be half cross. I don't mind, for some reason I don't mind it when it's charted to be half cross. I think it's just, I don't know what it is, but I didn't like the dog's half cross, but I don't mind this half cross. So here is where this one is. So pretty much all of this, except for these blank spaces, are half cross. The blank spaces will be full cross, but everywhere else is. And then this is all full cross in here, I think. Oh, no it's not. No, it's not. This is all half cross in here, but the black border around it is full cross. And then I think that, yeah, this is full cross too, right here. So, based on Pattern Keeper, and it also, again, this has backstitch in it, but I'm not counting the backstitch because Pattern Keeper doesn't count it, so it's just too hard for me to, I don't want to go through and count the backstitch, it's just not worth it. So based on Pattern Keeper, this is 2,315 stitches, which again, most of these are half crosses, so you could half that and just say it's like a little over 1,000, which is still enough to get no new starts, to work into no new starts. So that is 10.29%, and the goal for the end of the year is to finish this next year. It's not that big, so it's doable. I think it's doable. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. The next one in the pile is my Pokemon. Pokemon, I am working 28 count, I think. It could be 32, but I'm pretty sure it's 28. It's just a different material. I'm not sure what the material is. It's different than the Lugana that I buy from HAED. But for this one, it's 28 count, 1/1 full cross. Could be 32 count. Pretty sure it's 28 count. But Pokemon is a free chart that I got off of, oh my gosh, what is it called? Lord Libidin. They're free. I know there are a couple of different sites you can get the free Pokemon pattern. I just got this one on Lord Libidin. But yeah, so this is what it will look like at the end. And here's what it looks like now. It's a little bit different. It's a different style than most of the people who are doing the epic Pokemon. This is the original sprites version. So that's where I am. And this is 21,026 stitches, which is 14.85%. And my goal is to get to 20% by the end of the year. So, not bad. This is the last page on this side, so then I'll just go up and then I'll go down. But most likely I'll only be going up next year. I won't be doing any of the downward pages. Okay, next is Tulips. I don't know which way this goes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So Tulips is a chart I created myself using Pixel Stitch again. This is a picture that my friend, it's a stock image that my friend sent to me, so it is fine to use. she sent it to me. She was like, I love this image. Can you make this a pattern? So she bought the image, and she sent it to me. I mean, it's still, I think it's, when you buy the rights to the image, you have, I don't know how that works exactly, but I know that it's okay to use, it's okay to chart. So this is a stock, like I said, it's a stock image, so she sent it to me, and I charted it using Pixel Stitch, and I am now working on it, but I'm probably not going to give it to her. I'm probably going to keep it. She's probably forgotten that I'm working on it anyway. It's going to take me my whole life to finish, so, but anyway, here's what it's going to look like. And here's where it is now. So it's a lot of white. Sorry, I know it's like impossible to see. There we go. You can kind of see it. But this is 9,419 stitches, which is 3.77%, and the goal is to get to 10% completed next year. So there's a bit to go, but I'm getting sick of white, so I'm going to go up here when I finish the page and do some blue. Okay, that one is done on 25 count 1/1 full cross. This one is also done on 25 count 1/1 full cross. This is all of the 25 count is one piece of fabric that I've cut up into smaller bits of fabric. It was like a bolt of fabric. So I've used almost all of it. One piece left. Anyway, this one is a chart by Charting Creations, the lovely Nicky. It's called A Canine Sanctuary, and the artwork is by Nicky. Is it Nicky? Nicky Beohme? I'm not sure how to say that person's last name, but it's on the website. So if you are interested, you can go find it. But here is what it's going to look like. And here is where I am, hopefully, maybe, eventually, one day. Here's where I am. Oh, it's dark. So this is 8,038 stitches, which is 5.03%. And the goal is to get to 15% by the end of the year. I think there's one more page above, yeah, there's one more page above that. So I'll keep going up until I get to the top. But that's that one. Okay. The next one, we're almost done here, people. I think there's only two more. The next one I'm going to show is my Mulan. This one is bought off of Etsy. This is from, when I got it, she was NeniSweetPatterns. Now she's NeniSweetPatterns, I think. I'll put it in the description box. But I remember, I said this last video, or 2 videos ago, when I first bought it, I thought it was, I didn't know any better, and then after learning things, I thought I've bought a pattern that is stolen, but actually it's not. The artist, Hannah Alexander, and Neni, the shop owner, have an agreement, and she does pay commission to the artist, so this is not copyright infringed. Thank goodness. After everything that's going on right now, it's like, jeez Louise. I'm pretty sure my Disney piece is copyright infringed. But I don't know. It's hard with Disney. If it's like original Disney, it's hard. If it's Disney fan art, it's like okay, get the permission, but if it's like original Disney, it's so hard to get permission, so I don't know. I have this weird spot in my heart with Disney charts. Anyway, here's what the chart is going to look like when it's completed. And here it is in all of its glory. I made it to the top, people. I've made it to the top. So here it is. I love her. She looks so good. I'm so excited. I love her. And she's small. Because this is the edge over here, and then there's only one more page over here, and then this is the top, and then I think there's like 2 or 3 pages underneath, and my borders, I mean, I gave myself so much room, like, so much room. But this one is 17,956 stitches, which is 28.64%, and the goal is to get to 35% next year. So also doable, especially because once this is done, I'm going to come over here and go up, and most of this is just this border thing, and then like the rest of her arm, and then background, which is just yellow. So shouldn't take me too long. But this one is done on, guess, just throw out a fabric count. You guessed it, 25 count, 1/1 full cross. How did you know? Okay, and then the last piece is my Once Upon a Fairy Tale. This is artwork by Aimee Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Design. And I'm doing this on 25 count, 1/1 full cross. And this is what it will look like when it's done. And this is the max color supersized version, so it's pretty big. But here is where it is. That's what I've gotten finished. So my plan is to keep going up. I think there's like 2 pages up here. So I'm going to just keep going up next year once I finish this current page. And then I might go sideways and then I'll go down. I don't know, I haven't fully decided yet. I'll do what I feel like doing. And this one is 43,395 stitches, which is 6.08%. And the goal is to get to 10% next year on this. So that is everything. And I've kind of decided, I think last time I mentioned this, I want to go the other way. I want to fold this the other way. I think last time I mentioned, maybe it was 2 times ago, I mentioned that I had kind of a plan of how I was going to like reward myself for like stuff. So I'm doing 2 groups that I want to give myself a reward for next year. So I'm doing No New Starts 2021, and I'm also doing WIP Go. Like I mentioned, I have my WIP Go board. And I have 2 different ideas. So for No New Starts, the idea that I have is every month, if I can get through the month without starting anything new, I'm going to buy, you know, X amount of patterns that total up to probably like $50 or something. And so that's every month if I can get through the month without starting anything new. For WIP Go, I am going to, for every WIP Go that I can get, I am going to kit something up to be ready to start next year. And what I really want to do is I want to try to kit up and start, and in 2022 I want to start something from every designer that I have a chart from. So I have Pain Free Crafts, I have charts from them. I have not started any of them. I have the Cross Stitch Studio. I have charts from them. I haven't started. I have charts from Tilton Crafts that I haven't started. And then I'm sure that I'll be buying charts this coming year because of no new starts that I'll want to kit up. So that's kind of the plan, is that in 2022, once this is all done, I'll have things that are already kitted up from each designer that I haven't started something from, and I can start those. So again, the Cross Stitch Studio, Tilton Crafts, what did I say, Pain Free Crafts, you know, all of those kind of different designers. And if it's an Etsy store, I mainly stick with only a few Etsy stores, and I think I've started all the patterns I have from each Etsy store I have bought from. So mainly it's, you know, stuff that I've gotten from designers that I just really want to start but can't start in 2021. So I'll start them in 2022. So we'll have a lot more probably going on in 2022, but I'm hoping to have closer. I'll feel like I'm doing well with my WIPs, that I can start new things. We'll see. But anyway, that is all of my stuff today. I know it was a long video, I'm sorry. But I'm hoping that this doesn't get deleted, because the last time I uploaded a long video, or I tried to upload a long video that was like over 30 minutes, my computer just like deleted it, and I don't want to do this all again. So, I think that's everything. Thank you so much for everybody who stuck with me for this 45-minute video. Thank you for everybody if you got through the first kind of section where, you know, we talked about some hard stuff, but I just want to make people aware that, you know, people do steal artwork, and I know it happens. I totally understand that people have bought artwork or pieces, like charted pieces, from the people who might have stolen the art, and I'm not, you know, if you want to stitch that piece, fine, you bought it, you paid for it, but I just, you know, I'm hoping that in getting the word out, people won't buy from, you know, people who do steal art and things, and it's a toss-up, but I'm always a little bit more angry about the people who chart things, because they know that they're stealing it, but people who buy the patterns don't necessarily know. So it's understandable that people do buy stolen art, and there's nothing we can do because we don't know. But it's crazy times. But I hope that everybody had a great, in other news, I hope that everybody had a great Christmas. I hope that everybody had a great Kwanzaa, if you celebrate Kwanzaa. I hope that everybody had a great, what is it called, Festivus? I don't know. Everybody had a great holiday, whatever holiday you celebrate. I hope you had a great one. I hope you have a great new year, because I won't see you until the next video I post will be in 2021. So that's exciting. But yeah, I hope everybody has a good everything, and watch out for people stealing art. And just don't believe everything you read. So yeah, so I hope you have a great day, a whole great week, a great New Year's, and stitch all the things, but don't start all the things in 2021, because no new starts. Unless you're not doing it, then start everything you want. Go ahead, have fun. New year, new start? Not for me. Okay, see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.